my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. Today we are going to be working with the granny stitch again. Love this stitch, haven't worked with it in a hot minute, and I thought it was high time to show you guys how to make the mitered granny squares and how you can take one of these and turn it into a blanket. It's really easy, works up fast, and I think you guys are going to love this. For this particular project, I used Lion Brand's Ice Cream Big Scoops. Now, for my finished piece, which I showed in the intro and the thumbnail, that I used about 3 of these skeins. And let me give you the specs. Oh, there it is. It's right in front of my face. So each of these skeins is over 1,000 yards. It is a weight of 3, and it is acrylic. So I did use quite a bit of it. About 3-ish skeins of this yarn, and it is in the colorway of Blue Raspberry. Also, I used a 5mm size H crochet hook, and it's so easy. You guys are going to love this. So basically, it starts off as a normal granny square, but instead of doing all 4 sides, you only do 2 of the sides. Now, technically speaking, you can make one really big square in this method. However, I thought it would be interesting and more visually, dynamic, interesting, appealing if I took 4 of these squares and configured them with these little corners in the corners and sort of do the join as you go method, which I'm going to show you how to do. And, well, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? All right, first things first with round 1. Going to begin with a slip knot as per usual, and a chaining of 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then slip stitch to that first chain to create a ring. There we are. And then for our first double crochet, chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then into the ring 2 more double crochets. There we are. And then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and into that ring 3 more doubles. Chain 3. Into that ring, 3 more doubles. There we are. Chain 3. Into that center ring, 3 more doubles. There we are. And then we're going to chain 3 and do a slip stitch to the top of this first double that we created. So 1, 2, 3. And then in the top of this double, get underneath there. There we go. And slip stitch. There we are. And that is our first round. Now, what I like to do is I also like to scoot across to my next chain space. So I'm going to slip stitch into this stitch, into the next stitch, and finally into the chain space. Now we are finally done with round 1. There you are. Okay, row 2. So for this next row, it's going to be what I refer to as a solid row, because we're going to start off with a cluster of 3 right at the very, very beginning. Now, personally, to make a cleaner edge, I found that by chaining up 2 for the first double crochet, it looks just a little bit neater, and you can be the judge and make your own decisions based off of that. But so I'm going to chain up 2. If you want to chain up 3, that's fine, but I'm going to chain up 2. So 1 and 2. And then into this space, 2 more double crochets. Chain 1, and then going to the next space, we're going to create our corner. So in that space, 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles. Three doubles, chain 3, and 3 more doubles in that same space. There we go. Chain, whoop, hello, thank you. Chain 1, and then this is the last space that we're going to be working in. Now, do 2 doubles, and the third double, we're actually going to work into one of the chains. And again, this helps make it look just a little bit neater. So into the second chain from the bottom, that one right there, going to do my double crochet into it. Now, if you don't want to do this particular method, that's fine. The crochet police are not going to come after you, but this is just my personal preference. And there you go. So it creates a really nice, clean edge. And that is the end of the second row. Okay, row 3 is going to be an eyelet row or an open row. You know, we've got solids and we've got opens. So we're going to do an open one now. So I'm going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and that is going to count as a double crochet and a chain 1 space. If, however, you are using 3 chains for your double crochets, then in this case you would use a chaining up of 4, then a chaining up of 3. I hope that makes sense. You know, but because my doubles are too high, I'm going to be chaining 3. So turn the work, skipping to this first chain space, 3 doubles. You know, I never try to be confusing, but I do love giving options and possibilities because everybody is different and everybody has different ways of doing things and preferences and things, so I respect that. So from here, chain 1, and again, we've hit the corner. So in the corner, it's going to be 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles. Okay, and then chain 3, and 3 more doubles. So it's really exactly the same as your general, typical, run-of-the-mill granny square, except we're only doing 2 sides per row. The only difference is, of course, you know, the very beginning and the very end, and how it's not a 1 round repeat, but it's a 2 row repeat. That's really the only difference. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. So after doing our corner, we chain 1, 3 doubles into the next space. There we are. Chain 1, and then we're going to do a double crochet into the top of our first / last double. And it's a little bit fiddly, but it is worth doing. I think I have it. No? Bear with me. Aha! I gotcha. I gotcha. I gotcha. All right. So then do my last double crochet right in there. So yes, it is a little bit fiddly, but look at that edge. It's nice, it's crisp, it's straight, it's fabulous. All right, so that is the end of, that was row 3. Okay, we're on a roll. All right, let's keep going. Okay, row 4. Row 4 is essentially the same thing as the second row because it is a solid row. So begin by chaining up 2, 1 and 2. Go a little bit loose so you can get in there later. And then into this chain space, 2 doubles. Chain 1, 3 doubles into the next space. Chain 1. We've reached the corner once again, so 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles. Okay, got my 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 more doubles, chain 1, 3 doubles into the next chain space, chain 1. Okay, so from here, 2 doubles into the space, and then that third double is going to be in the second chain from the bottom. So got 1, 2 right in there. This one is a little bit more visible, which is nice. Thank you. There we go. Ta-da! All right, and that is the end of row 4. Last but not least, row 5. Now, you can, of course, make this as many rows that you want to. However, if you want to do the joining method that I'm going to show you, you're going to want a total of an odd number because you want to end on an open or an eyelet row. So we're going to do one of those right now. So we're going to chain up 3. 1, 2, and 3. Turn the work into that first chain space, 3 doubles. chain 1, 3 doubles into the next space, chain 1, and then we've hit the corner again, so 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles. All right, got my 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 more doubles, chain 1, 3 doubles into the next, chain 1 space, chain 1, 3 doubles in the next space, chain 1, and then do a final double crochet into the second chain from the bottom, the top of our double crochet there, that last one. There we go. And voila. So, like I said, just keep repeating rows 4 and 5, an open row and a closed row ending on an open row, and then you can proceed to do the joining for your project. Now, I have my squares already ready. However, I'm going to need to tear out my last round here, my last row. And so basically, so you can see we've got a corner there. We're going to have a corner there. And then I've got 2 more. Here's my corner right there. So that would go perhaps up there. And then I got this one. And so forth. Now, I would probably rearrange these, I think. You know, maybe this one would go over here, and then this one could go over here, you know, so that the colors would be more interesting. Totally up to you. So at this point, yes, I'm going to rip out the last row of 3 of these, and then I'm going to show you how you can do the joining. Alrighty? Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Alrighty, we are all set to join. So got one corner up there, another corner all the way down here, and we are going to join this piece to this piece. Now, actually, I'm going to show you 2 methods. The first method is, for me, it's a bit more traditional. So going to go into here and chain up 2, 1 and 2, and then grabbing my other square in this eyelet right here, do a slip stitch. So I get my little tail out of the way there, and going to, now this is wrong side facing wrong side, so going in, do a slip stitch like so. So now they're connected. And then going into my next eyelet on my working piece, 3 doubles. Thank you. Okay, so I got my 3 doubles, and then into my finished piece, going into the next eyelet, slip stitch, next eyelet on the working piece, 3 doubles, into the finished piece, slip stitch into the next eyelet, into the working piece, 3 doubles, into the finished piece, slip stitch, chain 2, turn, and then into that same corner, 3 more doubles to finish off that corner cluster. And then just keep finishing up this edge as you normally would. So 3 doubles, chain 1, 3 doubles, chain 1, 3 doubles, chain 1, and a double into the top of that first double. So yes, this is a totally viable option. Or you could even sew them together. That's viable too, nothing wrong with that. It's not my preferred method, but so as you can see, they are very nicely joined and it is super easy and fast. The only thing that I'm not crazy about is that there is a little bit of a ridge going on there, and it is kind of open. I mean, this is one of the methods that I used as my go-to for a very long time. However, there is, in my opinion, a bit more of a cleaner, neater, albeit a bit more work method, but I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So this is one option. Now I'm going to show you the other option. Okay, so now for the sort of cleaner join as you go method. So got my working square here, chain up 2. Thank you. There we go. And then pull up this loop just a little bit. We're going to put that to the side. Then going in through the top of this first double, scooting right in through there, then grabbing the yarn from your working block and pull that stitch through. Then going to chain 1, because we have to deal with this chain space. So chain 1, do the same thing, going in through the chain space and pull that loop up. Okay, and then into the working block, double crochet into that chain space, pull out your hook, and then into the first of these 3 doubles, go in, pull up your loop, another double crochet into that chain 1 space, pull up the loop there, going into the next double, pull up a loop, one more double, pull up the loop a little bit, going into that third double, pull up a loop, and then we've reached the chain space. So chain 1, going in through the chain space, and pull up a loop, And then we go over to the next chain 1 space. Double. Pull out the hook into the first double, insert the hook, pull up a loop, another double in that chain 1 space, pull out your hook, next stitch, pull the loop up, one more double, pull out your hook, going into that third stitch, and pull the loop through, chain 1, pull out your hook, going into that chain space, pull the loop up, and then we got this cluster in the corner. We're only going to be doing half of it though. So double, there we go. Pull out your hook, going into that first double, pull up a loop, another double, going into that second stitch, pull the loop through, third stitch, going into that third stitch, pull the loop up, there we go, chain 1, going into that chain space, pull the loop up and through, and then chain 2, and then going into that same corner with 3 doubles, so yes, it is a little bit fiddly, and it is a little bit slower, and it takes a little bit more work, but I think that it is worth it because look at that join. Look at that join. It is gorgeousness. You know, it is really flat. It is very strong, and it is quite pretty because it creates sort of a tweed look, almost as if you've done a whip stitch, but hey, no sewing required. It's a fabulous thing. And I think I really prefer this method more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up this square, then I'm going to add another square in exactly the same fashion, and then I'm going to show you how you can join the fourth final square. All right, I'm going to try to be a little bit more complete with this, and you know, get the full broad picture. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Give me one moment. All right, so now we have to fill in this square into this L shape here. Not to worry, it is really the same thing that we've been doing. The only thing is we have to turn the corner and keep going as we have been. It's not that difficult. So, going to start off in the same fashion that we did our previous 2 squares. And I didn't do anything at all different with this square that I added on. It's the exact same technique. Just make sure that your corners are, well, in the corners. That's all. So I'm going to start off by chaining up 2. And take out my hook. Then going into that first double into the top of it. I want both loops, please. Thank you. All right, and then get our working block, grab the yarn, and pull it through. Chain up 1, go into the finished block, into that chain space, and pull that loop up. There we are. And then into the working block, double, okay, pull out the hook, go into the first stitch here, there we go, and pull that loop through. Second double, pull up the loop, okay, going into the second stitch, pull that loop through and up, third double, okay, hold it, going into that third double, pull the loop through. Okay, we reach the chain space, so chain 1, going in through the chain space, grab that loop, pull it up. Okay, next chain space, double, okay, hold the yarn, go in through the first double, I only got one loop, I want both loops. There we go. Grab the yarn, pull it through, second double, hold the yarn, going into the second double here, grab the loop, pull it through, third double, hold the yarn, going into the third, grab the yarn, pull it through, chain 1, hold the yarn, going in through the chain space, pull the yarn up. Okay, we've got the corner now. All right, so scooting right in with a double, hold the yarn, going into that corner space. Wait, no, not the corner space. I'm sorry. Going into that double. See, I make mistakes too. There we go. Pull up that yarn. Okay, next double. Okay, hold the yarn. Second double. Pull up that loop. Third double. Okay. Hold the yarn, going into that third double. And pull up the loop. There we are. Okay. We've made it. We've made it to the corner. All right, so let me just give myself a little bit more wiggle room there. So at this point, we are up to the corner space there. I know that the color is a little bit dark, but it's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes with a color changing yarn. So now we're going to go in through these corner spaces, and we're going to sort of slip stitch those as well. And then we're going to work our way across to the end. All right, so what I think I'm going to do, how to approach this, is we just did our last double. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain one, because this was the end of our last double. So I'm going to chain one to sort of lock everything into place. And then going to go into this same corner that we were working in and pull up a loop. And then I'm going to hold my yarn. Then I'm going to go into this next corner right there and pull the loop through there as well. And then I'm going to chain one again, give myself a little bit of wiggle room here. And then going in through this next square, this last square, going in through that corner space and pull up a loop there as well. So that is how I deal with the corners. Now we have to then do the stitches going down this side. So going to double crochet, hold my yarn, and then do the exact same thing down this side. So it's really not difficult as long as you don't overthink it. You know, you're just joining two things together. It's really not that hard. I'm just going in through the next stitch, pulling that loop up. Then one more for our cluster of 3. Hold it, go in, pull up the loop, chain 1, go into the chain space, pull the loop up, and then do our next series of doubles. Almost had it. There we go. And then hold it. Okay, that first double, join you. Next double. Hold it. Next double. And grab it, pull it, join it. Next double. Hold it. Thank you. Go in. Join it. Chain 1. Going into that chain space. Pull it on up. Okay. Double. And hold it. Join the next double. Do another double. And hold it. Next double. And join it. next double, and hold it, next double, and join it. Okay, so we are pretty much at the end here, so need to just chain one, deal with this chain space here, and then going to double crochet into this last double crochet, and then we're going to join that. So double, hold it, and then going to go into the top of this double here. Don't have to be terribly precise, but and there you go. Ta-da! We have done it. And then I can pull my loop up and through, and there you go. So we have completely joined our 4 squares. Absolutely gorgeousness. All right, so now if you want to put a nice finishing touch on your blanket, what I did was I did a couple of rounds around the entire piece. And how I went about doing that is started in one of the corners and pulled up a loop, chained up 3, 1, 2, 3, 2 more doubles, chain 3, 3 more doubles, all into that corner space. So the reason why I like the idea of doing this is that it gives your whole piece, a little bit more of a cohesive look. Also, it strengthens it as well, gives it a little bit more stability. So we've got our 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles, and then we're going to work our way across this edge. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because it can be a little daunting dealing with this double space. Not to worry, I got you covered. So just going to be doing our granny clusters as per usual. 3 doubles, chain 1, 3 doubles, chain 1, all the way across. Nothing new. So nothing to worry about. But then when we get to that double eyelet, it can seem, like I said, a little bit daunting, but we got this. So we have a double eyelet. Well, I chained 1, and what we need is the equivalent to 3 doubles, but we need to just sort of fill in that extra space, right? So going into this first chain space with a double. So double. Okay, and then we're going to do 2 double crochets together. So yarn over, go in as if to double, pull up a loop, and pull through 2. But do not finish the double. No, no. And then yarn over, going into the next eyelet, pull up a loop, pull through 2, then pull through all 3. Then 1 more double into that next eyelet. And there you go. You have the equivalent of a granny cluster, and it creates a really nice sort of seamless way of, going from square to square. And then just keep going on in the usual way until you reach the next corner, and you would do 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles, etc., etc., etc. And so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to finish this entire round, but I will show you what to do next. All right, I will see you in just a moment. Okay, so when you're almost done with that first round, as I am, just going to get myself back to that corner. There we go. do my cluster in here. There we go. And then just need to chain 1 and slip stitch to the top of that first double. There we go. So that is our first round. And then slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. And then slip stitch into that corner once again. And then you can do another round, and another round, and another round, and so on and so forth. Chain up 3, 2 more doubles. So if your project is not quite as big as you would like it to be, based on your squares, well, you can just add more border rounds. Totally fine. So I've got my 3 doubles, my chain 3. I just need to finish up 2 more doubles. There we are. Chain 1, 3 more doubles. And so I wouldn't necessarily suggest only doing 1 round. I would suggest at least 2. 3 is even better. That is, as always, my personal opinion. So I'm just working my way towards that 2 double crochet together bit right over here to show you how we're just going to go right across it, just like any other cluster, and it will look just fine. Almost. Okay, so I've reached the interesting cluster. So going to just chain 1 and then go to the next space. It's not a big deal. And if you do, like 3 rounds of this border or so, you won't even notice this one cluster in the middle there. And there you go. So in the grand scheme and scope of things, it's a pretty minor point, this little guy right here. But it works really nicely as far as the continuity of your border. It lays nice and flat, and there you go. Alrighty, my dears, so that is going to conclude today's tutorial on the Mitered Granny Square blanket. I really hope that you liked it, and thank you ever so much for joining me today. And if you did like today's video, please give a little thumbs up button down below. You know that I appreciate your appreciation as always. And let me know what you think you're going to do with this particular design. What sorts of yarns, what sorts of colors, who's going to be the lucky recipient of your first blanket. I'm always interested in hearing about your creative process and your creative journey and everything, so let me know in the comments section. And until next time, you know what to do, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great, great day.